you how Lexus does it. They don't do it by accident. It's done by design. This is our formula. Please write this down. This is our formula for creating a world-class service experience. It's very, very simple. Attention to detail. Next to attention to detail, if you could please write down the small things are the big things. The small things are the big things. Huge things. Huge things. Pronouncing names correctly. Making sure appointment times we're on time. I'll give you an example. I worked with doctors. Let's say, for instance, you have a 10 o'clock appointment to have your annual exam with your doctor. How many of you expect to see your doctor at 10 o'clock? Your doctor's going to run on time. Anyone? What time do you expect to see the doctor? 11, whenever, next day, something. What's the message being conveyed to you? You're the customer. You're the patient. Whose time is more valuable? That's correct. The physician. Recently, a dentist. There was a dentist. I travel a lot. I have one day. I'm home tomorrow one day. I've got to get my hair cut. I've got to get my teeth cleaned. I've got to do it. I need to run on time. I said, I need a dentist that runs on time. I was looking everywhere for a dentist that runs on time. I finally found one. Somebody recommended Dr. Kelly. I called to make an appointment. Small things are the big things. Attention to detail. First time I ever made an appointment, the young lady that was assisting me on the telephone said, Mr. Grover, we know that you've never visited our firm before. We just want to let you know that we pride ourselves on running on time. The only way we can do that is if you agree to be on time. What's the message that's being conveyed there? Do you love that? Man, I haven't even gone into the place. I've never been there before. You're going to need to fill out some paperwork. You have a choice. You can come in early, fill it out, or you can take it with you and do it afterwards. Either way. But we need to run on time. We ask for your assistance in helping us do that. Fantastic. Attention to detail. I was blown away. I knew right then. I said, this is going to be an amazing experience. 5 years later, I asked Dr. Kelly, how's business? He said, phenomenal. He said, Brian, you know that... He says, you know, you helped me set up the arrangement to be the on-call doctor for the Ritz Carlton. I said, yes, sir. He said, you know, I have guests that have flown in and make a reservation at the Ritz Carlton to stay to get their teeth worked on. I said, you've got to be kidding me. He says, no. He says, no. They broke their crown or whatever they did while they were on vacation. He says, they'll rebook an appointment and stay at the Ritz Carlton. Bingo. Attention to detail. Flawless processes. There's a difference between a flawless execution and a flawless process. Most of our employees are running flawless executions. They want to be excellent. But if they're not getting the result that they're looking for, it's because maybe the process is flawed. Well, I'm doing the same thing, but it's not working. It keeps breaking. I did exactly what I was told to do. The question is, are we ever going back and saying, is the process working? We have the tendency, I know at the Ritz Carlton we do this, we implement this process, implement this process, implement this process, but we never really go back and clean up what wasn't working. So we need to get rid of all of that and say, is it working? What's working really well for us? If I had the whole day, I'd give you tons of examples. The next one is a random act of kindness. This is what our guests are looking for, is random acts of kindness. And I'll give you an example of a random act of kindness. On Mondays and Fridays, well, let me start over. Every day of the week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, all around the world, our ladies and gentlemen are reading this newsletter. It's called Our Commitment to Quality, and it looks like this. These are reprints. Let me find an original. Here's an original. It looks like this. It's printed in 17 different languages, and we read it every day. It's printed in Japanese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Arabic, Spanish, German, French, Italian, Malay, all these different languages all around the world. We're not allowed to start our position until we stand in a circle and read this newsletter every day. On Mondays and Fridays, we have what are called wow stories. A wow story is when one of you takes the time to write a letter to the president of our company. We publish that letter for all of our ladies and gentlemen to read around the world. It celebrates the accomplishment of our ladies and gentlemen. The employee receives $100 cash for being mentioned in one of our wow stories, and they receive recognition from all 37,000 of our employees. Kind of cool, right? Everyone say yes. Yes. All right, good. So here's a wow story. This is from Monday, October 10th. Today's wow story is from the Ritz Carlton Bay Island. Anyone from Jacksonville? It illustrates the importance of going the extra mile to assist a guest, even if it involves a very unpleasant task. It's a random act of kindness. During a conference, very similar to this, a young lady removed her dental braces during the meal. She crumpled it up in a napkin and forgot it on the table. Anybody want to guess where it ended up? Garbage. During the conference break, the room was refreshed by the banqueting staff, and the napkin was thrown into the garbage. When she returned, she realized it was gone. Dusty and Anthony had their radar on antenna up. They didn't have to be asked. They realized that something was wrong. It's just not right. They asked, what's going on? They decided to go out back, jump in the dumpster, start throwing out trash bags containing nasty coffee, old butter, and other trash. Finally, they found the retainer. We called the doctor, the dentist don't call. He says, if you boil it 3 minutes, put it in a Ziploc, it's like new. They did that. Returned it to the guest. Needless to say, she was delighted in the lengths these gentlemen would go to fulfill her unrequested needs. First class to Dusty and Anthony for demonstrating genuine Ritz Carlton caring. How'd they do? After wow stories, we always clap. Let's give them a big hand. Good job. So at 9:05 this morning in our corporate office, even our corporate executives stand in a circle up in Chevy Chase, president of our company, all of us stand in a circle and we read this newsletter aloud. It creates alignment with all our ladies and gentlemen, all of our employees. Because it's been my experience when our employees show up to work, sometimes they're not thinking about work. They're thinking about, did I close the garage door? I can't remember if I put the dog out. Am I supposed to pick up the soccer balls later on the way home? Am I supposed to, what are we doing Saturday night for the party? Let me tell you about the great movie that I went to. None of that matters. It's our customer. We're there to serve our customer. Without the customers, we don't have a home. We don't have a car. We're focused on our customers, taking care of our customers. It creates the alignment. That's what we're looking for. We're there to serve. So it creates that alignment. And what we do is create these random acts of kindness. That is our advertising. Do you realize last year our advertising budget at the Ritz Carlton was zero? Zero. 2008, zero. How do we become one of the most recognized luxury brands in the world with zero advertising? Never a TV commercial. Print ad, a little bit here and there. Most of it's free. We don't do advertising. We just find out that this is our advertising, word of mouth. That's how we get our customers. And then making an emotional connection. Please write this down. There are 3 words that we want to use. These are the 3 words that create an emotional connection to our brand. That is unique, memorable, and personal. We want to create experiences that are unique, memorable, and personal. Otherwise, our customers are just a number. We want to treat them unique, memorable, and personal. And I'll give you an example. Anyone here have an iPod? If you do, raise your hand. Anyone here cannot imagine your world without your iPod? You're madly in love with your iPod? Perfect. Ma'am, what's your name, please? Rebecca. Rebecca, how many iPods do you think there are in the world today? 1 billion. Okay, perfect. That's close. Yes, sir. Can you imagine a world without your iPod? What's your name, sir? Ken. Ken, how many iPods do you think there are in the world today? 700 million. Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to the question, honestly. Okay, 700 million. Rebecca says 1 billion. It could be somewhere in between, okay? Rebecca and Ken. Ken, do you think your iPod is exactly like Rebecca's? It is. You think it is? Rebecca, do you think yours is exactly like Ken? Rebecca, do you think if we took out all the billion iPods in the world today that we'd find one that's exactly like yours? Identical. That's why we love iPod. Yes, sir. 58 million. 58 billion?
Wow.
There's 58 billion? That means some people own more than one. There are only 6 billion people on the planet. What are we selling to Martians? We're sending them to other planets? Or what are we doing? Well, let me just let you know, when you get to Pluto in your future life, you know, you're iPods there. They're somewhere. All right, the bottom line is this. You know what? Cell phone. Who here has a cell phone? Okay, everyone. Sir, what do you think? That's a cell phone? Nathan, I tell you what, my cell phone is more valuable than yours. It's newer, it's got all this stuff on it. I'll trade with you. Even Steven. Will you take it? Right now, trade with you. Even Steven. Will you trade your cell phone for mine? Why not?
I would.
You would? There you go. Most people would, because you know why? We get the cell phone set up exactly like we want it. It has our names, it has our addresses, it has our ringtones, it has our music, it has our photos, because it's ours. We want it because it's unique, memorable, personal. Anyone ever lost your cell phone?
Yes.
How did you feel? Lost.
Unique,
lost.
memorable.
Just imagine, that's the way it should be with you. Let's say, for instance, sir, what's your name? You have, sir? Gary. Gary. Gary? Gary, if I come to do you own a salon? If you own a salon, and let's say, for instance, something happens with Gary where he takes a salon, I would be lost. I'd be lost. What? I can't even imagine the world. What am I going to do now? It's like our cell phone. If we've created it to be unique, memorable, and personal. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go through these real fast. Everyone have these? Everyone have these? Say yes?
Yes.
All right, good. So let's go through these real fast. Service excellence is about connecting with our customer consistently. What we want to do is make a connection. It doesn't have anything to do with price point. That's why people are willing to pay. Who here loves Starbucks? $4.72 for a cup of coffee, where I come from, is a lot of money. Right? But you know what? They make it unique, memorable, personal to you. They write your name on the side of the cup. If it is made exactly the way you want it, they'll throw it out and make you a new one. We're willing to pay more money for that. So even if it's a $4 cup of coffee, it's about consistently doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Like I said, I doubt very seriously you're going to leave here and say, wow, that was profound. It's about ordinary things. But our customers are looking to make a connection. They already assume you're competent. Otherwise, they wouldn't make an appointment. Like when we go to see our doctor. We already assume that our doctor is competent. What we're looking for is to make a connection. Bedside manner absolutely does count. Would you agree with that? Yes. I'll give you an example. Your physician. You have the 10 o'clock appointment. The doctor comes walking in. 10:45. Here they come. You're sitting in the examination room on the tissue paper. Do you already assume that your doctor is competent? Yes. Everyone say yes, please? Yes. All right, hopefully. Here comes the doctor, comes walking in, have on their lab coat. The doctor has on their stethoscope, their name embroidered here. It could be a man or a lady. Comes walking in, right? Here you are, 45 minutes late already. Come walking in and have big bloody handprints on the lab coat. Oh. Are you going to stay?
No.
Are you ever coming back?
No.
Watch this. Not one word's been spoken. That's how quickly we size up our experience. Not one word's been spoken. Now, I know that with you, this typically would be a great message for someone other than you. I know that you know about appearance. Everyone say yes. Yes. I mean, there's some beautiful, beautiful people in this room, like all of you, right? I mean, because you know the importance of appearance. You know the importance of your nails, your hair, you know that. You know that. But doesn't it really emphasize the point? It emphasizes the point on the attention to detail and making connection consistently, bedside manner. So your personal power, remember, it's about you. Never underestimate the power that you have. We touch our brand. We touch it day in and day out. You are the brand. Recognition to the brand is about the people, and I'll give you an example. We were talking about Lexus earlier. How about this one? We're going to talk about engagement. Engagement. This is very interesting. Here's an interview with Lexus that I found on the internet, done by the Gallup organization, and this is what it says. How can a dealership engage a customer? This is a senior vice president. He says, by absolutely respecting the customer, by respecting the customer's time, anticipating the customer's needs, exceeding the customer's demands on a regular basis, and delighting the customer in terms of our relationship. He says, during the 90s, what I did was I just surveyed. I went around and I spent all my time traveling. And I would continually conduct impromptu surveys of luxury car owners. He says, fortunately, we make an amazing car. He says, so we had a fair number of owners that were part of the survey. He says, I would ask people why they bought their car, Lexus or otherwise, what they liked and what they didn't like, and so on. I observed that the most fervently loyal Lexus customers, it was rarely about the product. Don't get me wrong, the product is amazing, it's outstanding, and it's definitely one of the best in the world. Their real delight, the real source of their positive attitude towards the brand was generated by the dealership, the people in the dealership. The reality is, if you have a wonderful car, but only a mediocre ownership experience through the dealer, customers are much more likely to be enticed away by someone else's new car. So it's not just the product. It's about that relationship. So our brand is, bless you, our brand is the people, it's you. A moment of truth, here we go. Here's one from a restaurant. I don't know if you can see this, it's really old, but it says, hey lady, hey, there's a fly in my soup. She says, hey, that's all right, you can keep it. What were her options?
Give me a new one.
If that happened to you, would you always remember it? Exactly, right? She had multiple options. What could she have done? There's a fly in your soup. What could she have done? Get you a new soup, fix it up, take the fly out, right? Why do you think she chose the one she did? Doesn't care, lazy.
Not trained.
Not the owner, bad attitude, says, well, it's not me. How about this one? I looked at this and it kind of looks like she's just going to the kitchen. Maybe it's not her job. Maybe it's, well, it's not my table. You need to get your other server, right? Who loses in this situation?
Everybody.
Everyone. And unfortunately, it's going to be remembered. So how do we stay in the moment? How do we create these experiences? I'm going to pass out what we call our Credo cards. I have a few of them here that if you'd like to share, you're more than welcome. Here you go, ma'am. If you can pass this around. Ma'am, here, if you'd like to pass this around. Put one in the back here. Please. This is called our Credo card. This is our 3 steps of service. All of our ladies and gentlemen must carry this card on us at all times. It's called the Credo card. It's a mandatory part of our uniform, and we read from it every day. It's printed in 17 different languages as well. I've only got a couple, so if you can pass them around, I really appreciate it. Just pass them around. This is called our 3 steps of service. Number 1 is a warm and sincere greeting using our guest names. These are the things that our customers told us that they wanted. They want to use our names. Perfect, thank you. Number 2 is about anticipation and fulfillment. Number 3 is using our guest names. And I'm going to give you an example. Recently I did a presentation to a group of CEOs in New York City, and they said to me, Brian, they said, we only want 1 slide. We don't want a whole lot of PowerPoint. I said, fine, I'll just use this one. I took a break and I had the CEO ask me, he says, you mean to tell me we hired you to come here all the way from Ritz Carlton? You're going to talk for 60 minutes about that? That's the foundation of world-class service? And I said, absolutely. He says, how can it be? It's so simple. And I said, I understand. That's why we don't understand why more businesses don't do it. Yeah. But it's been my experience. How often do you go into a business and they use your name? Think about this. This sets the tone for the whole experience. Just imagine you pull up to the Ritz Carlton. You just pulled up to the Ritz Carlton. We welcome you to the Ritz Carlton. We open your car door and ding the door. Does it ruin your experience? Yes. That quickly. That quickly. So we have to do this first. A warm and sincere greeting. It sets the tone for the visit. Using our customer's name over and over. We don't introduce people as she. Well, he is taking care of the AV today. He has a name. This is Rob. Rob's taking care of the AV. Thank you so much, Rob. Versus let me introduce him. If I'm introducing him, or I met Candace earlier. Right, I'm introducing Candace, or I met Debbie earlier. I was talking to Debbie. If I introduce her as she, right, it's not personal. It's not unique, memorable, or personal. And a fond farewell. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you, Debbie. Candace, thank you for being here from Jacksonville. We really appreciate it, right? Thank you so much. But the big one, step number 2, I could spend all afternoon talking about this one. Fulfillment is when our customers ask for something. If our customers ask for it, we'll be more than glad to do it. You come to me at the concierge desk and you say, Brian, you said, I'm heading out to the airport later this afternoon or tomorrow. I say, perfect. You say, I look there and I see you have a MapQuest or a Google. And you say, can I get some directions? I say, absolutely. I said, I wouldn't recommend taking MapQuest or Google. I'd recommend taking the toll road. We have pre-printed directions. If you ask for directions, I give you the directions. I've done exactly what you asked for. It's not world class. It's ordinary. It's what every hotel does. What we're looking for is going above and beyond, anticipation. I'll give you an example. Recently, I stayed in a hotel in Washington, D.C. The concierge said, Mr. Grubb, make sure you take the toll road. I did. I used the directions they gave me. 4:30 in the morning, I pulled up to the toll booth, and guess what? It only takes quarters. I didn't have quarters. There's no booth. There's no person there. It's unattended. All I had was dollar bills. I had 3 quarters. I needed 4. What do you think I did?
Put the 3 quarters.
I floored it. I got a ticket. 3.5 weeks later, $75. Now, will that always be remembered? For all the wrong reasons. I'm thinking, why didn't he just tell me? He should have said, Mr. Grubb, I just want to let you know that if you decide to take the toll road, you're going to need 4 quarters. That's anticipation. How do we anticipate? We're answering questions before they're asked. Even if you were to say no, let's say, for instance, a wedding. You're going to have a wedding in our hotel, a bar mitzvah party, a graduation. We'd say, did you think about this? No, that's not for me. Did you think about this? Did you think about this? Did you think about this? What about this? You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. No, not for me. Perfect. But we offered. Or the customer says, you know, I never even thought about that. That's a great idea. That sounds great, Gary. That's why I come to you. That's why I can't imagine a world without you. Because it's anticipation. So, it's about radar on antenna up. I could go into a whole afternoon about radar on antenna up. It's fulfilling customers' unexpressed wishes before they ask. It's anticipating. It's thinking ahead. It's being 1 step ahead of our customers. Fulfilling needs is not enough anymore. We have to anticipate better and better and better. The question is how are we anticipating? So consistency, to create the consistency where we practice this with each other first. In other words, I'm going to get into telephone verbiage. Who here uses the telephone in your business? Everyone, right? Everyone. In other words, what I don't do is I don't have one way that I interact with Gary. Gary and I are business partners. Debbie and I are business partners. Candace, we're business partners. Okay? What I'm not going to do is answer the telephone one way. Hey, Gary, what's up? What's going on, Debbie? How you doing? But then when my customer calls, yes, ma'am, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. Thank you for calling concierge. This is Brian. How may I assist you? That's our normal standard verbiage. I'm not going to treat her one way and Gary different. Say, good afternoon, Gary. Thanks for calling concierge. This is Brian. How can I assist you? That's how we create the consistency. We practice on each other, not on Jennifer. We don't want to practice on our customers. I was just recently in a hotel where they had the employees had the name tags that said trainee at the front desk. I was thinking, okay, does that mean I get a discount? Because I'm not going to receive as good as... What they're telling me is your service won't be as good from them. I didn't want to deal with them. I don't know about you. Have you ever been in a place where the person said, well, I'm just a trainee. Do you want to work with them? No. I don't. I was thinking, they kept saying, the young man says, can I help you? And I said, no, I'll wait for him. Do you have someone that's not a trainee? I have a Federal Express. It's $1,200 in that Federal Express. I want to make sure it's getting where it's going to go. I don't want to work with a trainee. Sorry. It has to be there tomorrow. It's a $1,200 little computer thing. I don't want to mess with a trainee. I don't know about you. So consistency, where we practice this with each other, not on our customers, ever, ever. Okay? So, our 5 golden rules, this is it. I'm going to go through these briefly and I'll answer some questions. Number 1 is be a team player. It takes all of us working together. All of us. Everyone that works for Gary, myself, Candace, Jennifer, what we're doing is we want to create a world-class experience for her, period. So what we do is we all work together. All of us is empowered as if we are the owners. They're the extension of our brand. Any of our employees are an extension of our brand. Number 2 is great first impressions. This, like I said, I don't think I have to go into with you. Pay attention to what you say. This is really important. Recently I checked out of a hotel. There was a gentleman standing by the front door. It was snowing. I was in D.C. There was a gentleman standing by the front door. Had a long coat. He looked like he could be in GQ magazine. 5-star hotel. Not one of ours. He had a long coat. He had on a beautiful scarf, red scarf, and a black top hat, white gloves. I mean, you just expect a world-class experience from that, wouldn't you? I mean, just amazing appearance. And as I was going to ask him for directions, I said, good morning, sir. How are you? He looked at me and said, what's up? I thought, dear Lord, we're not playing sand volleyball on the beach. The client paid for the hotel. That hotel room was $800, $900 a night. What's up? What's going on? I thought, what? We're not playing sand volleyball. There's a difference. We're in a professional, world-class environment. Number 3 is being a positive ambassador, and number 4 is cleanliness. Cleanliness. So high-performing teams. High-performing teams is based on attitude. And I'll give you an example. It's a little thing that I do with our ladies and gentlemen. That's this. What I'd like for everyone to do is look down. And when I ask you 2 on 3, I'd like for you to yell out the color of your shoes. 1, 2, 3. Go. Wow. You know what that means? It means you have feet. It's a great day. I work in healthcare. 70% of the business that I do in healthcare, or the business that I do now, is healthcare related. I work in hospitals. I have learned to appreciate my fingers and my toes. Today is an amazing day. I've been in hospitals where little children check in one night, the next morning they wake up with no foot, no hand, no fingers, no toes. I say to our ladies and gentlemen, man, it's a great day. Anyone ever been to South Africa? Let me tell you, it's a great day. It doesn't matter what we're eating today or what we're drinking today, it's a great day. Yeah. I mean, poverty beyond what we can imagine. We're in the wealthiest, most powerful country on the planet. Today is an amazing day. It's a wonderful day. High-performing teams, it starts with our attitude. Our employees, the attitude that we have. We say to our ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to have a bad day, do us a favor, call out, stay home. Stay home. Don't come in. If you're going to have multiple days like that where your heart's not in it, you just can't get into it, do us a favor, go work somewhere else. Don't make us terminate you. Do us all a favor, go. We love doing what we're doing. We know we're not perfect. We don't get rich doing this. We can make the same money working down the street. We know that. We decided to be excellent. We decided because Gary has established that this is what our reputation is going to be. If we work with Candace, we work with Debbie, this is how we're going to take care of Jennifer. Either you fit in or it's time to go. High-performing teams. That's what we're looking for. Great first impressions. I know that you know this. We judge people based on 5 seconds. We have 5 seconds, right? If that. You ever felt like that? Looking at those ladies and gentlemen, we never get a second chance to make a good first impression. That doctor says, give me another chance. That blood on my jacket. Would you go back? No. Chances are we wouldn't. So whether it's attitude or not, how about this one? Healthcare. I was amazed when I first started working with healthcare. I see the employees smoking by the front door. I see them with their lab coats all, maybe they have a lab coat, maybe they don't. Name tags on the left, name tags on the right, no name tag, no lab coat, no coffee, walking in with a donut and coffee. I'm thinking, whoa, do you realize at the Ritz Carlton we can be terminated for using the front doors? We are never allowed. We have to receive written permission to use the front doors of the hotel. We come in through a tunnel in the back of the hotel. We're not allowed to use the front doors. That door is reserved for Jennifer. You're our guest. That door is reserved for you, Gary. That door is reserved for Candace. You're our customer. You're our guest. It's not for us. I can't believe it when I see employees walking around. There's soda bottles here and there. I'm like, whoa, clean that up. No. That's not for us. So for us, excellent grooming is perceived as part of excellent service. Professional language, I don't know, versus please let me find out. Please allow me to find out. In order for me to give you the right information, is it okay if I ask you a few questions? Versus, well, you need, how about this one? Well, you need to give me your driver's license. You need the credit card. You need this. Whoa, hang on. Whoa. Versus, in order for me to give you the best information, most accurate information, is it okay if I ask you a few questions? Absolutely. Who would say no to that? Absolutely. Of course. Thank you. Could you please provide me a little more information? Absolutely. I'd be more than glad to. Well, that could never happen here. Well, it did. Right? Being a positive ambassador. How about this one? I'm going to read you a wild story. How are we doing on time? Are you learning? Yes. Having fun? Yes. What time is it? Anybody have the time? I don't have the time. I'm in a different time zone. Is what? And I have till what time? I have till 12? Okay, good. I'm on time. All right, good. Sometimes I forget what time zone I'm in. I apologize. What's that? Good. All right, perfect. We're doing good. So I have time for questions. All right, let me read you a wild story. This wild story is from the one, I have a bunch of them. Love wild stories. This is from Laguna Niguel, and it really drives home this point of being a positive ambassador. Sorry, I get on a roll. Can you tell I'm passionate?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right, great. I figure you came here, you invested your time, you might as well get your money's worth, right? Let's give you everything we can possibly give you in the time that we have together. Okay, Monday, April 11th. Here we go. Today's wild story comes from the Ritz Carlton, Laguna Niguel. Yes. It shows us how to be ambassadors for the Ritz Carlton, both in and outside of the workplace. Do you realize we sign an agreement that we can be terminated what we do when we're off the clock? For us, there's no such thing as off the clock. I say to our ladies and gentlemen, when they're in orientation, if you're wearing that uniform and you decide to stop at the bar on the way home, you might want to change out of that uniform. Your job's in jeopardy. Isn't that interesting? I had the opportunity to closely observe one of your employees. During the past 2 weeks while he and his wife were part of a holiday tour, the employee's name is Rooms Reservation Manager Andre Santa. I have never spent an evening at the Ritz Carlton, but know of your organization as being among the best of the best in consistently delivering superior world-class service. If Andre is any indication of the quality of your employees, and indeed the Ritz Carlton reputation is well deserved. During the entire 2-week tour, Andre was cheerful, friendly, outgoing, and concerned with the well-being of others. I mentioned at the end of the 2 weeks that I never heard him compare the Ritz Carlton to the other hotels we stayed during the tour. I felt that he was classy as they would have come up lacking when compared with the Ritz Carlton. Why do we not want to talk about our competitors? Are we competing with them?
Nope.
Who are they competing with?
You guys.
Us. We're the standard. We don't compare ourselves to them. We're the standard. You compare yourselves to us. We're setting the benchmark. Right? We are. I felt that he was classy as they would have come up lacking when compared with the Ritz Carlton. And if Andre made any negative observations, he kept them to himself. What's some of the best advice our moms ever gave us? If we have something negative to say, then what? Say it at all. If you want to learn almost anything about a company, look for the closest Starbucks. Big office tower, right? With the name of the office, the company on the top. Go into the Starbucks in the lobby. You can learn almost anything you want to about that company. I was sitting in a restaurant. I was in a mall. I was waiting for a car to pick me up. And it just so happened, and I was thinking about this last night. If I told you the brand, which I won't, it was a brand. It was a cosmetics. And there was a young man and a young lady that were in the food court. And I was in the food court, right? Classy, right? Food court in the mall. And they had like some chicken thing. And so I was getting my chicken. I was kind of killing a little bit of time doing some Christmas shopping before I went to the airport. So I'm kind of hanging out there, and there's a young man and a young lady sitting across from me. We were kind of those community bars, and they're going on and on and on and on, destroying their brand, which it was interesting. When their backs were turned to the company, and I could see the big store behind them. And they were destroying their brand. Destroying their brand. Oh, they changed the commissions, and it really is this and that, using foul language about their brand. And I'm thinking, just imagine Gary, Candace, Debbie, you invest millions and millions of dollars in your brand. Millions, all this time and money and energy on our brand. And then somebody, because they're upset with something, they're talking where I'm overhearing that and I'm thinking, I'm going into that store. I was actually going into that store. I've heard amazing things. Now, I don't wear makeup, except on occasions when, I have to, right? They tell me, you'd look better with makeup. I'm like, okay. But you know what? If I were, it taints the brand. And I'm thinking, man, I've heard such amazing things. And there's so many other employees. You know what it made me want to say to them? Why don't you go somewhere else? Go work somewhere else. I feel sorry for the people who have to work with you. They probably love their job. I know that he was, quote unquote, not on the clock while on vacation, but I wanted you to know that my high regard for the Ritz Carlton operation went even further during the friendly welcome way Andre conducted himself. First class to Andre for representing the Ritz Carlton as a true professional both on and off the job. How do you do? Let's give him a big hand. Good job, Andre. So being a positive ambassador, talking positively about a brand. If we have anything bad to say, let's make sure we say it to the appropriate people. Cleanliness, cleanliness, cleanliness. So you have a 10 o'clock appointment to see your doctor. You're sitting in the examination room. Do you do like I do? You look around on the floor. You see that little swab over in the corner. It's got some red stuff on it. Little Kleenex over in the corner. Right? Does it make you start questioning? I don't know. I'll give you an example. I was out doing some shopping. Young lady that I was with, we're in a mall, South Coast Plaza. Beautiful South Coast Plaza. She says to me, she says, I want to go into Tiffany's. And I thought, oh no, right? Ooh, Tiffany's. Ooh, big box. Big box. So I thought, oh Lord, Tiffany's. So she says, I want to go to Tiffany's. And I said, really? I said, you going to do some shopping at Tiffany's? She says, no, I just want to use the restrooms. She says, they are beautiful. I have to go into that store. She says, they have little candles. It smells great. They have real towels for my hands. It's wonderful. Isn't that interesting? That's why. It wasn't about the product. It wasn't about jewelry. Oh, I'm sure that had something to do with it, right? All right. But cleanliness. All right. So, anyway, what was rule number 1? Who wrote these down?
Be a team player.
Be a team player. Excellent. What was number 2?
Great first impression.
Great first impression. Number 3?
Pay attention to what you say and how you say it.
Pay attention to what we say and how we say it. Perfect. Number 4?
Be positive ambassador.
Be a positive ambassador of our brand. We are the brand. Number 5?
And think cleanness, safety, and trust.
Cleanliness. And the big one in California is the conservation. Are we recycling? Let's make sure we're recycling. We have green initiatives. If we have water bottles, so we can refill water bottles. What we're doing is we have the big water container now in our conference rooms. We're putting it in all our hotels around the world. We're doing away with water bottles. When our guests come in, we have one of the refillables now where we say you can refill. We have the big jugs so that we're not filling up the landfill. So we're attempting to be green. That's why there are no handouts. Okay, I apologize. You have to take notes. But no more handouts unless someone in particular says, I want a handout. Because you know, I used to find so many of them in the trash in the back of the room.
Amen.
And I was like, what a waste of paper. So we try not to do those. You know, bless you. Bless you. All right? So satisfied customers is one thing. What we're looking for is we're looking for an engaged customer. And I'm going to share with you how we do that. It's not done by design, but it is done by design. But what I'm going to share with you is how we find that out. How do we survey to find out if our customers are engaged? Engaged customers are good for business. They're really, really good for business. They're the most lucrative customers, an engaged customer. If you'd like to write down this story, I highly recommend that you write this down. This is a little bit of research for you. July of 2008, the Harvard Business Review. July 2008, 54 cents of every dollar that comes into the Ritz Carlton goes back into our customer. It goes into service. Service is not, it's expensive. Sometimes we have to pay for service. It costs money. Well, we want to know, is there a return on that investment? This is very interesting. Page number 118, Harvard Business Review, July 2008, says this. It says, putting the service profit chain to work. And this is what it says. It says, these techniques, some of what I've talked about here, calibrate the impact of your employee engagement, loyalty, productivity, value of products, services delivered, on and on. Building customer engagement, loyalty. It says, in fact, the lifetime value of a loyal customer can be astronomical, especially when referrals are added to the economics of customer retention, repeat purchases of related products. For example, the lifetime revenue stream of a loyal pizza eater. Who here loves pizza? Ma'am, what's your name? Kara. Kara? How much is a pizza pie? Where are you from? Where are you from?
Newport News, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Newport News. Okay, perfect. And how much is a pizza pie if you want to pick up a pizza in Newport News? $14. Okay? Anyone agree about $14? Is that a good number? Okay? Just imagine if our employees, our host or hostess, or the person taking the phone orders, we own this pizza parlor, right? And it's Tara? Kara, I'm sorry, C-A-R-A? K-A-R-A. Perfect. Okay, thank you for correcting. So Kara and I, we're going to own this pizza parlor together, okay? And let's say, for instance, we have someone at the front desk or front counter taking pizza orders, and we say, Kara, what happened there? And say, oh, well, you know, it's $14. It's just a pizza pie, $14. No, it's not just $14. You know that's over $8,000 that's walking out the door? Because they're going to tell other people. How much does it cost to get one of your services? If I came in for one of your services? $100? This is $8,000 on a $15 pizza pie. A $100 customer, you're talking about $50,000. That's a $100,000 customer, right? I don't know. I've been at the same dentist for, what, 5 years now? I've been at the same person that cuts my hair for probably 6 years, 7 years, $58 a pop or whatever it is. You know, $60 for a haircut. $60 every 2 weeks, For 6 years, add it up. It adds up. Plus all the people I've told, plus all, adds up. How about this one? Cadillac owner, loyal Cadillac owner. Anybody want to guess? Someone that purchased, anyone drive an Escalade? Right, Escalades are cool. Guess how much we'll spend on Cadillacs in our lifetime if you're a loyal customer of Cadillac? Over $300,000. That's a $332,000 customer that's walking in the doors. The thing that we teach the Cadillac employees is this. If you're standing there in front of that Escalade in the dealership and that customer comes walking in, we don't know who they are. We don't know if they are. We don't know if they aren't. We don't know. I hear this at the concierge desk. Well, Brian, you know, at the Ritz Carlton, at the presidential suite, you receive a different service. That's true, you do. You receive bathrobes that are monogrammed. They have your initials on them. That's true. Sometimes the pillowcases, we monogram the pillowcases so it has your initials on it. They're better flowers. They're better, more apples. Right? Maybe your favorite bottle of wine. But at the concierge desk, if I answer the phone, I don't know who they are. Our customers don't wear a name tag to say presidential suite. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Everyone say yes?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right. A loyal, anybody want to guess? Loyal Ritz Carlton guest? $1.2 million.
Overlucky.
$1.2 million. One afternoon, I'm staying at the concierge desk. Gentleman asked for driving directions. I said, oh, absolutely. He's going out to play some golf. I said, absolutely. And I said, I'm sorry, sir, could you remind me of his name? Because I'd written his name on the sole envelope. He says, Dell, Michael Dell. I said, oh, you mean like the computer? Duh.
The Michael Dell.
He's worth, I don't know, what, $15 quadrillion or something? I think he just bought half the solar system. I mean, I think he owned the hotel I worked at. I should have said, you know, I probably worked for him.
He's got all the iPods.
He's got all the, there you go. He's got all the iPods. There you go, all 58 billion of them. Well, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know. He was wearing shorts and a ball cap. I had one afternoon, Pierce Brosnan. Anyone know Pierce Brosnan? He came walking up to the concierge desk, he had on a beard. I didn't recognize, you know, I don't know. I work too much, I don't know. And I said to him, he says, Brosnan? I said, how do you spell that, sir? He looked at me like, what planet are you from? He looked at me and says, just tell him there's 007's here. I didn't know. I don't know who he is. Well, our customers are worth a lot of money, So I say to our employees, we don't know who they are, okay? So passionate advocates of the brand, okay. So the question I'm often asked, oh Brian, so if we're going to create engagement, what's the #1 way to engage your customer? Excellent question, active listening. What is active listening? Who can tell me? Not talking, what else? What's active listening? How do you know if I'm actively listening? Eye contact. Oh, I hear that. Body language, right? Body language. What's your name, man? Amy. So I'm maintaining eye contact and body language and I'm shaking my head, right? Am I listening to you, Amy? No. How do you know for a fact that someone's listening to you? I heard it. Repeat back what you hear. Repeat it back. It helps us eliminate mistakes. Repeating it back. It shows that we're taking an active interest in you. Kara, K-A-R-A. Everyone have it, right? Everyone here had Kara. Because we asked, we clarified, we wanted to make sure we had it right the first time. Everyone has it now. We'll remember that because we asked. I'll tell you who does a phenomenal job. Mandalay Bay. Anyone ever called Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas for a reservation? I mean, unbelievable. I don't know who trains their employees, but let me tell you, they are spot on. I've called every different time of the day. They're one of our competitors. But I'm telling you, world class. Amazing. Good afternoon. This is Julie. Thank you for calling the Mandalay Bay. Who am I speaking with? My name is Brian. Brian, is that your first name or last name? It's my first name. What's your last name? Grubb. Mr. Grubb. And I said, yes, ma'am. She says, good afternoon. How do you spell your name? Is that with an I or a Y? I said, it's with an I, so it's B-R-I-A-N. It is. And how do you spell your last name, Mr. Grubb? And I said, G-R-U-B-B. So it's Brian Grubb. It is. She said my name 5 times. 5 times. Because people say to me, well, how do we know their names? Ask. Kara, we don't always win. I made a mistake. I should have said, well, how do you spell that? Versus, is it C-A-R-A? I could have just said, well, how do you spell that? It's K-A-R-A. Oh, okay, perfect. We'll remember that. Right, Gary? Bingo. Because we practice over and over and over and over. But where we practice first is with our employees. Well, I had 1,000 ladies and gentlemen I was responsible for at the Ritz Carlton Laguna Niguel. Did you know every employee on a first name basis? Yes. And most of them, I knew their last names and their husbands and wives' names. Because we practice over and over and over. We don't go down the hallways and just say, good morning, how you doing? I say, good morning, Jennifer, how are you this morning? Good morning, Debbie, how are you? Kara, how you doing this morning? How's Bill? Right? Because we practice over and over and over and over. Active listening, repeat it back over and over and over. It puts us in the moment. The other thing, the 3 most powerful words, and I could go into a whole story. Blink, is anyone read Blink by Malcolm Gladwell? Page 82 is a case study. A case study, 3 most powerful words. Wendy Levinson did this huge case study. She's a contributing legal attorney for CNN. If you go and read the whole story, what she talks about, I'll give you the short version, is 3 powerful words. Tell me more. Tell me more. We want to know as much about our customers as we can personally find out. We don't want them to know about us. This is not about us. That's why at the Ritz Carlton, we don't wear chandelier earrings. We don't wear nail art. We're not allowed to wear, you know, a big elaborate, we're not. It's not the fashion show at the Ritz Carlton because our focus is not on us. Our focus is on Jennifer. See, when the curtains turn to black after our performance, we want you to remember the performance and not the performers. Our focus is on them, on our service. So we'd say, tell me more, tell me more. If someone asks a question about me, I'm going to immediately turn it right back on them. Do you have children? Absolutely I do. How are yours? Do you have children? Oh, I do. What kind of children do you have? Do you have boys, girls? What are their ages? If they ask me what ages are yours, I'm going to say, what ages are yours? Otherwise, have you ever been with a person? Let me tell you everything there is to know about me. No. It doesn't build what we're looking for. What we're interested in is Jennifer. I want to find out as much about her as I possibly can. Kara, how can I find out everything I could possibly find out about her to make it memorable, personal for her? That's why iPods are so popular. It's all about you. How can I give you what you want? So, why do customers leave? This is very interesting. 9% of our customers leave to our competitors. This is all business today, not just us. American Society of Quality tells us 9% leave to our competitors. 10% due to attrition. They move away or pass away. 14%, they don't like the product for whatever reason. We're not for everybody. We're not for the rockers that want to stay up all night and tear up the hotel. We're not. If we find out a publicist calls us and says, we just want to let you know that X superstar, you know, pop model, R&B rap star is coming to the Ritz Carlton, they're bringing the paparazzi, which does happen. Happens all the time. It's not by accident. They call them. We say, well, you know, if they show up, if the paparazzi show up on our property, we'll have them arrested. So they say, well, they need that photo op for the new movie that's coming out. We say, you might want to go stay at one of our competitors because they're not going to get the photo op in our hotel. Cameras are not allowed in our hotels. If we find them, we'll have them terminated. We won't terminate them. We'll arrest them. We'll ask them to leave. So we're not a good fit for everybody. Have we had the rock and roll stars that want to party all night and tear up the hotel? Yes. Are they a good fit for us? No, not really. They aren't. They want to come back when they want to be more subdued. And most of our guests that are staying in our hotels, I can tell you a litany. Every president, every past former president, I can tell you all the superstars and rock stars and everybody else. Most of them you'll never know stayed at the Ritz Carlton because we don't talk about it. They come to us for that reason. They go the other place when they want publicity. So we're not a good fit for everyone. But that's not the reason why we lose our customers. 67% of our customers leave due to what? An attitude of what? Indifference. On the part of a company employee. And this is what I see. Have you ever seen an employee, at least this is what I've experienced in California. You ready? Whatever. Whatever. Right? It's an attitude of indifference. It shows that we don't care. Versus, tell me more. Tell me more, Jennifer. Really? How was that? Tell me more, Kara. Wow, that's fantastic. Tell me more. Tell me more. It shows that we care. It shows an active interest. So handling a difficult person. Who here has encountered a difficult person? Yeah, if you haven't, stick around. Would you agree with this statement? Would you agree with that? Notice it doesn't say resolve. Part of indifference is created by customers leave with a problem. It doesn't say resolve the problem. It says discuss. Discuss. We're looking for somebody just to talk to us about. So for us, what we don't do is we don't do the blame game. Did I have the gentleman punching me in my chest? Yes. Was he wrong? Yes. Yes. Did I say to him, sir, our motto is at the Ritz Carlton, we're ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. I promise to always conduct myself as a gentleman. I ask them to do the same. Please don't hit me. Yes. Did I say to the young lady, I'm so sorry, I apologize. Apologize 3 times. I'm so sorry, ma'am, I apologize. Ma'am, I'm so sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize about your margarita. I'm so sorry. You know what she said? Fine, what are you going to do? Let's do something. Because otherwise it was just meltdown. Just melting down, just meltdown. We can't resolve anything when we're in meltdown. So we just apologize. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I've had employees say to me, I don't want to apologize for a customer. I didn't do it. Well, I didn't make the drink. I didn't make the drink. I didn't park the gentleman's car. He was upset. We parked his $472,000 car under a tree that had recently been clipped, and it dripped sap on the car. So he was punching me in my chest. He was upset. I didn't clip the tree. I didn't park the car under the tree. But I apologize because it's eroding our brand. It's our brand. We should know better. What are we doing? Parking his car under the tree. We know better than that. I feel bad for him. I'd be upset too. That doesn't give you right to punch me. Okay? But we can just apologize. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry. He finally said, okay, what are you going to do about it? Very interesting. The next day he came up to me and says, you're Brian, right? And I said, yes, sir. He says, I think yesterday I must have lost my mind. I wanted to agree with him. I'm like, yeah. All right, sure did. We got the car detail. It's like new. Okay, no biggie. All right, so, but it erodes our brand. So we want to build our brand. So it's our engaged customers that cannot imagine a world without Ritz Carlton. It's your engaged customers that cannot imagine a world without you. So I encourage you to write this down. These are our rules for measuring engagement. Number 1, we ask our customers, what's your likeliness, call it your likeliness to return? Okay, to you. What's your likeliness to return? When you need one of our services, what's your likeliness to return to us? Please write down this word, first. You're my first pick, Gary. You're my first choice. I'm coming to you first. Now, if for any reason you move, obviously I have to look for somebody else, but you're my first pick always. I don't even have to think about where I'm going to get my hair cut. I don't even have to think about where I'm going to get my nails done. I don't even have to think about it. It's out of my mind. It's auto redial. That's what we're looking for. We're going to the Ritz Carlton first. Number 2, what's your likeliness to tell your friends, neighbors, and relatives? Isn't that how we get our business? Through referrals? What's your likeliness to tell your friends, neighbors, and relatives about your experience here? Man, it was fantastic. I will definitely tell them. That's what we're looking for. Call it friends, neighbors, and relatives. Your likeliness to return. Likeliness to recommend. Number 3 is, can you imagine a world without us? Which we already covered. And number 4 is the big one. Did we treat you with an overall sense of well-being? In other words, my hair is a disaster. My body hurts. I just need a massage. I just can't wait to get my nails done. Bless you. And I left there feeling great. I know that if I come here, I'm just going to feel wonderful when I leave. That's what we're looking for. It's an overall sense of well-being when our ladies and gentlemen feel like our guests, our customers, our employees feel like we treated them as an individual. As an individual. It was special to them. Fully engaged customers for us are ones that answer those questions in the affirmative. I cannot imagine a world without Ritz Carlton. Yes, I would definitely recommend you. Yes, I'll definitely return to you first. And yes, I cannot imagine, it's an overall sense of well-being was amazing. For us, that's a fully engaged guest. Fully engaged guests spend more per night. They stay longer. They spend more in incremental spend. They use all of our services and facilities. They use everything in the hotel, not just a little bit, everything. And they're also the most forgiving when we make a mistake. The top 100,000 most frequent shoppers at Nordstrom, a group of ladies that were polled, and I lost the survey. I left it somewhere at one of my presentations. I wish I still had it. And in it, it said the top 4 reasons consistently among that group of shoppers, that group of lady shoppers, was always in the top 4 that I know if I have a problem, they'll take care of it for me. Consistently. That's why we have loyalty to a brand. One of the reasons. So setting yourself up for success. Like I said, being negative, talking about things we should be talking about, bonuses, salaries. We just want to watch what we say and how we say it, who we're talking to, because we don't know who's listening. Probably talking about your criminal activity is not a good idea. Well, I'm on the work release program. I got on my ankle bracelet. Probably not a good idea. Professional communication for us, we answer the phone within 3 rings. We identify ourselves, identify our department, use the customer's name if we have it, and offer additional assistance. We have 5 criteria. Good afternoon, Gary. Thanks for calling the concierge desk. This is Brian. How may I assist you? Good afternoon, Debbie. Thanks for calling Ritz Carlton Laguna Niguel. This is Brian. How may I assist you? That's our normal standard verbiage. Sir, did I answer all your questions? Absolutely. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Okay, so that's our normal standard verbiage. Excellence is created by design. Now, do we always, are we perfect? No. Do we make our share of mistakes? Yes. We do not screen calls. We're not allowed to say, may I tell them who's calling? Ever. Ever. Every once in a while, I'll call a hotel and they'll say, may I tell them who's calling? No, you may not. I thought that wasn't our standard. Oh, you're right, I apologize. Because I know when I first started working at Ritz Carlton, I used to screen every call. So it was a habit. It was hard for me to break that habit. But we don't want to do it. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make people, everyone's a VIP. Everyone's special. Ask permission to place a caller on hold. May I place you on a brief hold while assisting a guest? I've had guests tell me no. Okay? I'm currently assisting a guest. Someone is standing in front of me. Jennifer is standing in front of me. I'm making another appointment for her. Jennifer, the phone is ringing off the hook. We're going to make another appointment, and I'm going to go ahead and take care of your credit card authorization. The phone is ringing off the hook. Would you prefer for me to let it ring off the hook or go ahead and just place it on a quick hold? Say, place it on a quick hold. Perfect. All right. Let's give her a hand. Yay. Excuse me, Jennifer. Good afternoon. Thank you for calling the concierge desk. This is Brian. I'm currently assisting a guest. May I place you on a brief hold? Okay? 99% of the time, the people will say absolutely. If they say no, I'll say I'm currently assisting a guest. I can offer you my voicemail, take a message, and call you right back. But I'm currently assisting a guest. You're my #1 priority. Place it on a brief hold, and I'll pick it right back up. Okay? So we ask. Using speakerphones, we're not allowed. It jeopardizes confidentiality. We just don't, unless it's a conference call. We just don't. It's just, I can't stand when I'm on a conference call. I don't know if you've ever been on a speakerphone, and I'm thinking somebody in the background is listening to a conversation. It makes me not want to ever go there, ever. It's just bad. It's just really, really bad manners, in our opinion. Return phone calls, voicemail, emails within 24 hours for our travel agencies. Our top travel agencies in the world, we have 50 of the top travel agencies in the world that do business with them. We guarantee them a 4-hour response. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, we guarantee them we will respond to them within 4 hours. It's guaranteed in writing. So it's one of the ways we've been able to attract their business is a faster response time. Voicemail, email messages, please make sure you have response information, address information. Every once in a while, if you've ever got an email where a person says, call me, there's no contact information. So we want to have contact information, how to get a hold of them, their street address, all that information, because it goes straight into our BlackBerries now. We use that for our nav. So, oh, I'll just save the appointment. Yes, right here in my BlackBerry, it captures, I put it right in my navigation, I can go. I don't have to call and say, can you give me directions? It's right there. So we want all that information right in the email. Everything is there. It's easier. So are you consistent? The first phone call, the last phone call of the day, are they just as important to you? Are you consistently professional? So here's some of our reminders, our recap. You know, this is #1 that I'm going to talk about out of all of these, and that's the purchase is wrapped. I had the pleasure of interviewing Nancy Livesey. She's 70 years old. She lives down in Palm Beach, Florida. She's the number one selling agent for, what do you call it, Lauren. Lauren, which is the high line of, it's not, I was corrected. I said Polo. It's not Polo. It's not Ralph Lauren. It's Lauren. Lauren, she's #1. She outsells everybody in the country, Bloomingdale's, and they send her on this trip every year and all. And I asked her, I said, Nancy, what is it? What makes you that much better? You're not faster. You're not, it's just, what do you do? What makes you, and she says, it's my tape dispenser. I said, it's your what? She says, yeah. She says, when I go out in a train associates now, when I go into Bloomingdale's, I go to the register to see if they have a tape dispenser. If they don't, I know they're not world class. I said, what do you mean? She says, yeah. She says, think about it. Lauren's not cheap. She says, it's expensive. Someone buys a blazer. They buy one of our blazers, trousers, one of our slacks or pant. She says, generally a special occasion. She says, we wrap it up in the tissue paper. We make it really nice, put it in a gift bag. By the time they get home, right, the ladies get home, the bag is all disheveled. We got the kids, got the groceries, got all this stuff. Plus we drive the way we drive. She says, we get it and it's all a mess. She says, nobody wants that. So I take the time and I tape every one of the little packages. I make it nice. It's a little gift. It's just a wonderful. I put my little thing on there. She has a little thing, a little decal she puts on. And I said, but doesn't that make you slower? Don't your customers wait? She says, my line's always longest. People will wait. She's like, I'm wrapping. I'll be right with you. I'm wrapping. I'll be right with you. #1. #1. Isn't that interesting? I love sharing that story. That's my mother. My mom's #1. I just talked to her. I just talked to her 10 minutes before the presentation. She's like, they called me back again. She's retired 6 times. They called me back again. So anyway, These are some of the additional things that we offer. This is our website if you'd like to get more information. Thank you for being here. Thank you for inviting me on behalf of our great show. Yes, sir.
I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, that when you're hiring new employees
Yeah.
that maybe can't afford to stay at the Ritz,
Right.
that during orientation, one of the first things they do is get checked in as a guest?
That's a great question. The gentleman asked about if our guests can't afford to stay at the Ritz Carlton, and I'll give
But not
you
your
an
guests, your employees as you hire them.
New employees, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. And what's your first name?
Oscar?
Oscar. Oscar. When I first started working at the Ritz Carlton, I had never stayed in one of our hotels before, ever. So what we do for all of our ladies and gentlemen is on day one, we ask them to valet park. We take them to lunch in the restaurant. One of the first things we do, Oscar, is when a new employee shows up for day one of orientation, we take them on a tour of the hotel. We show them where the valet is. We show them where they get paid. We show them where the restrooms are. We show them where the restaurant is, where all the different restaurants are. We take them to the presidential suite and take them through all of the suites and rooms. And then what we say to them, Oscar, is we say to them, yes, we invite them to stay in our hotels. That's absolutely true. And the other thing we do is we say, remember the first things that we did for you when you checked in, or excuse me, when you first came to work here? We didn't talk about starting going into task and all that. What's the first thing we did? We took you on a tour, right? And they say, yes. And we say, that's what we'd like for you to do for our guests. Because when our guests arrive, the first things they want to know is, where's the restaurant? Where are the restrooms? Where's my car going to be? Where do I pay? How do I take care of the rooms? Where are the rooms? So that's what we do, is we demonstrate that to them. The answer is yes.
Love it.
Great question.
Thank you, sir.